Hey, this is 5 of Clubs, and welcome to episode 3 of our Townsfolk Tussle playthrough. Last time around, our Toonsfolk searched high and low in town for treasure. Yancy Plover's skepticism about the Peddler's wares was proven valid. Quintus Binch was emboldened to perform the MVP play of the battle after imbibing some suspect alcohol. And we shooed away the storm of Umbrello. Our townsfolk may very well fear the town pond forever after, as it was the site of our first fallen Toon, the drunkard Quintus Binch. Don't worry, he'll be back up and at him again for the next battle. Speaking of which, we have another Ruffian inbound, so let's take care of the town tasks and gear up for another brawl. Alrighty everybody, we are ready to begin episode 3 of Townsfolk Tussle. And I suppose, let us go ahead and start as we always do, by getting a few more feats of metal for our friends. Looks like just about everyone's going to need 2 here. Oh, but before we do that, let us reorder this here. So Quintus is coming up, Yancey, and Granny. There we go. So in the buy-in order, Quintus is going to be leading things off, followed by Yancey, Norman, then Melba last. So let's go ahead and shuffle, give him the first and the second. Sorry about that. Alright, and we are back again. Let's go ahead and continue sending out the remainder of these. Oh, that's a town event. We'll get there shortly. Don't get too excited.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Go, and there we go. And let's just briefly look at them. Norman is retaining his observe from afar skill to where he wants to end his turn 10 plus squares away from the Ruffian. Sturdy and simple, complete a fight with a starting weapon equipped the entire time. Ooh, a starting weapon. That means I'd have to equip the reliable rod and keep it out. Interesting. We have a magician as well. Have your townsfolk removed from the board without being knocked out. One way to do that would have been, for instance, if we got caught up in Umbrello's umbral shroud here when he tied up or he bound our friends Quintus and I believe Yancey in the last round. Okay. That's sort of a luck-based thing, whether or not that'll happen. We have the Survivor trait here on Melba. Take 2+ damage a single turn without being knocked out. We have Armored. Obtain a piece of head, chest, or leg gear. So during the market phase, where we get to buy stuff, if I buy a head, chest, or leg gear, then I actually achieve this bonus. So we're missing a headgear. That might not be a terrible idea. And we have Tinkerer, which is interact with a terrain piece, as opposed to the Engineer that wants you to interact with 2. So there we go. And of course it gives a lower reward compared to Engineer here, as you can see. And Engineer, we're going to keep that. 1 Fella Army, deal 3 damage to a Ruffian in a single turn with weapons. Currently I can only really deal 2 damage, but if I get a critical hit with either weapon and then happen to roll the right thing, I could roll a third, but we might be able to perhaps steal ourselves another weapon that can give us a bit more. Ambusher. Damage a Ruffian while you are standing inside a terrain piece. So if I was on the picnic or I was in the woods or something like that and I dealt damage to the Ruffian, then I would achieve the Ambusher trait. Very cool. And we have Caught in the back. Take damage from the Ruffian when the target's farthest townsfolk. We know that one. Then we have Healthier. If another townsfolk consumes a consumable during a fight, achieve this feat. So, for instance, if Quintus wanted to eat his stolen candy, then our friend over here, Yancey, would consider himself healthier and get this feat accomplished. Very interesting. And we have Eagle-Eyed. End a town phase with 1 or higher accuracy. We are currently at 0. Oh my, oh my. I'm not sure what I just did there, but I really royally messed things up, didn't I? So let's go ahead and reset these. I think we have 4 Moxie and we have 3 movement. Yep. Wow. Okay, and you know what else I'll do? I'm going to lock these boards down so that we don't do anything like that again. Nope. Sure don't need that. No. Let's throw that right there. We're going to lock this down, and we're going to lock this down. And while I'm actually at it, let me go ahead and make sure I have the correct values for everything. No accuracy bonus. I got the extra movement. But actually, I should have 2 movement now because the Breezy Cape gave me another movement on top of the Town Banner. Town Banner is going to give everyone a movement, so she should have 2 movement, +1 max health, and +1 to the accuracy. Very good. Then I have Quintus over here. He's got his 4 health. He has, let's rein in his movement a bit to 6 because he gets 1 from this, 1 from the Town Banner. And then his Moxie, he should be at 3 Moxie. And for his accuracy, he was at +1. And then he got +2 because of the wine, but the fish helm broke. And even though I recognize that I made an egregious error there, I'll just continue playing as though, you know, what happened, just for fairness' sake. All right. Very good. So now we have our goals. Now it's time for us to get some town events, starting with the Quintus, then over there, then over here, then over here. All right, Quintus, lead us off. What are we up to? Uh-oh. Shaky hands. All the commotion around Eureka Springs is really getting to you. Looks like you're developing a case of the jitters. Keep this card in front of you for the next fight. Lower your terrain rolls by 1. Uh-oh. Not... I mean, I guess it's better than lowering attack rolls, but that's going to make getting the engineer trait... well, then again, this just says interact with 2 different terrain pieces, so it doesn't say, like, successfully get their max value, so maybe that's not as bad as I thought. Abandoned farm. You come across an abandoned farm and decide to peek inside. Roll plus your accuracy, which our accuracy is 0. Alright, what do we got? Oh, naturally. Of course, you got a 1. It's a death trap. It is a death trap, I suppose. The ceiling collapses in. For the next fight, you have -1 max HP. Oh, gross. Okay, well, abandoned farm. Goodness. Sore eyes, town event. All this fighting has really knocked your head around. Your vision ain't quite what it used to be. Keep this card in front of you for the next fight. You lose 1 accuracy. Oh man, my friends are just getting beaten up. What is this? This is the worst town phase we've ever had. Okay, no good. And Harold's Discount Outfitters. You mosey into the Eureka Springs discount store, hoping to find a good deal on wares. The store clerk, Harold, offers you quite a lucrative trade. You may discard 1 piece of gear. If you do, receive the first card from the Peddler deck with the same gear type as the discarded card. Headgear, chest gear, leg gear, weapon, special gear, or accessory. Keep that piece of gear and put all other revealed cards on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so that might be a way to get the armored trait if I, let's say, gave up my ballet slippers here as leg gear or gave up the royal mantle, but I actually kind of like both of those items. What if instead I trade in Granny's cane, since I don't intend to use it, which is a melee one-handed mace, and see what we can find? You know what? That sounds like a great idea. Let's see what we can find here. That's leg gear. That's an accessory consumable. That's a chest gear. That's a headgear. Those are leg pants. Oh man, if only I had gotten that one, huh? You may discard 1 piece of gear. If you do, receive the first card from the Peddler deck with the same gear type as the discarded card. Headgear, chest gear, leg gear, weapon. Look at that. That would have been good for her. Oh, we have a melee weapon. Our first melee weapon. Very good. And then it's just to put those on the bottom. Okay. Alright, so we ended up getting a discount on the Jabbin Dagger. Melee one-handed dagger costs 1 moxie to use, hits on a 4+, 1 damage. This weapon may attack up to 3 times per turn. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. I know she's not normally a melee person, but you know, you could use this 3 times a turn. I mean, you have to have enough moxie to do it 3 times a turn, but that's pretty great. Okay, alright, so we got one that wasn't so bad. I mean, what I'd really like to do is hand this over to somebody like Quintus Binch, but unfortunately you're not able to exchange gear in that regard. Alright, and then moving our way right along, let's go ahead and set up the gear. And let's buy some stuff, and I will cut back when I have completed my purchases. Alrighty, and I have concluded, so let's go ahead and talk about what I bought and why. You may notice Norman Fishboy does not appear to have any new gear items, and that is because, in fact, I decided to pass. The market offerings that were available for him just did not appeal for my 9 coins. So I'm going to hope to save up my money and buy 1 or 2 really good items in the next market phase. So we actually did not buy anything for him. Granny Melba, we still have our maraca here, but I actually bought the finicky grenades, which is a ranged, one-handed, and thrown weapon. That way, on the off rounds where we don't get to shoot the Rudy Tutor, I get to throw grenades for 1 moxie, and it hits on a 5+2 damage. And remember, because it's ranged, it's a range of 3, I get to step 3 away And then, oh, but it's then -2 after that. So what I may end up doing is sort of switching off between the two, perhaps. Nah, actually, you know what I'll do? Here's what I'll do. I'll actually keep the maracas out. And I'll just start using the finicky grenades. Because this basically is the same stats as this, except it doesn't have to reload. I mean, it's less range, but the maracas help offset that a bit, don't they? There we are. That's what we'll do. Excellent. So we have the finicky grenades, 2 damage, and then on a miss, all townsfolk within 3 squares of the ruffian take a damage. That's the one thing that I'm partially worried about, but I've also made her as empowered as possible to be able not to miss if she's in the right range. So I think that's not too terrible. And we'll hang on to the Rudy Tutor, and we'll switch to it if it becomes a little too risky to throw those grenades. All right. Quintus Binch. First thing first, the stolen gear I got was a special gear icon, which is not equipped to one of these slots. You may draw an additional town event when returning to town. So next time we do the town events, the town stuff, he's going to get 2 town event cards, whereas everyone usually only gets 1. That was actually all I bought for him. I saved his money as well. So I'm going to continue on. And then over here, the only thing that I did was I bought the Coward's Cloak in exchange for the Smithy's Apron. Yes, the Smithy's Apron allows you to prevent all damage dealt to you by an action, but this does -1 max HP, which isn't so great. You know what, actually, yeah, we don't want to equip that just yet because, remember, we already took damage from a caved-in roof. So we're going to hang on to that for the next fight. Basically, while it does -1 max HP, for 2 Moxie, you move 2 squares away from the Ruffian and restore a health point. So, essentially, instead of you being able to just negate attacks, you can instead just heal yourself up from them, which I think, and you can do that throughout the fight. He certainly has enough Moxie to do that sort of a thing, so I think that's a great purchase for him, leaving him with 2 coins. All right, and now we are ready to fight the boss, and who are we fighting today? We are fighting Pepin Milk Frog. Oh, yeah. This was, I think, the first guy that I fought. Let's see if the button works. La, surely it does. Look at that. Let's remove these folks from the board because we are going to have to set up where they go. A few things to look at here on the board. We have some wooden fences, which are obstacles. The 2 different interactions that you could do is when you spend a Moxie when you're adjacent to it, you can interact. On a 1 to 3, nothing happens. On a 4+, you can either hop over it to the other side, or you can actually destroy it and remove it from the board. There's 2 fences here and here. We have our wishing well back. We have an old jalopy. And the old jalopy, if you spend 1 Moxie, you can interact and you roll. On a 1 to 5, nothing happens. On a 6+, the old jalopy moves forward until it collides with the terrain piece or the board edge. All characters in its path take 3 damage, then remove it from the board. So, if we get him lined up here just right, we can hit him with that car if someone can get over there. And, of course, we have the Rickety Farm here, which is an obstacle. When at the door, roll or use a Moxie to knock for assistance and roll, and depending on what happens, various things can occur. We have a bear trap right here. If we can get him over to it and have him activate and walk across it, that'll hurt him. Then we have a murky moat, as we've seen before, and we have a buzzing hive. So the rest of the stuff we have seen before. Now, Pepin Milk Frog is a dastardly fellow who sells this sort of, well, as you can see here, I guess it's toxic. He sells this toxic milk to folks, and apparently he is quite the driver as well, because it looks like he has hurt somebody there. But he's a known shyster, and he's not well for our friends. And since we're meeting him at level 3, he gets the Troublemaker trait. Milk Crate Barrage. At the start of Pepin's turn, he deals 1 damage to all townsfolk within 5 squares. Oh my goodness. That's not good. That is not good one bit. No, it sure isn't. Alright, so this is where we begin. Now, you might be wondering what these FF spots are, and those are for the special setup for the final fight, and we're not at the final fight yet. So let's go ahead and pick some spots for our friends. I suppose Quintus can go right here. We really want him to interact with some terrain as an engineer, and if we're lucky, we could just get 1 here and then maybe 1 down here, or he does have money for the wishing well, so we might consider that. Then another person we want somewhat far away from him is Granny Melba. Let's put her right there. There we are. Then, let's see. I suppose we'll put Yancy Plover near Melba here. There we are. And then I suppose we will put Norman the fish boy right here, because that'll start him adjacent to the murky moat, which means he'll be able to sling the fishy cap, should he want to do that. Okay, let's give these a shuffle, and let's just check his... yep, he has 7 movement, 17 health. Okay. Alright, actually I'll keep it on this side so we can keep that troublemaker trait.
This match will get red hot.
Okay, well, let us dive into this exciting battle with Pepin Milkfrog. What are you up to? He's not in fog, so he's going to go ahead and hit us straight away. Roundhouse swing. Pepin spins rapidly with extended arms like a lariat. Target, farthest townsfolk. Okay, that's going to be Quintus Binch. Move toward the target. All townsfolk who collided with Pepin during this action take 1 damage. Then deal 1 damage to all townsfolk adjacent to Pepin. Okay, so he's got to move toward the target. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And then he's going to smack us with his flailing arms. Oh, sorry about that. All right. Very good. So, or not very good, I guess. Starting us off by hurting our friend Quintus is no fun at all. After effect. If any townsfolk owns milk-soaked limb, blood flies from Pepin's womb, he takes a damage. Okay, no one owns the milk-soaked limb yet, but maybe there will be a way in here to acquire it, for example. Okay, alright, moving along. It is the beating order. We are going to start with Granny Melba this time around. Let's see. She's going to have to move to get at range 3 with our friend here, and she has movement of 6, I believe. So we will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we are. And let us chuck those grenades. We are at range 3. So even though we're at -1 here, range 3 is going to put that up to +2. So basically we hit on a 3+. Oh no. Okay.
Mission failed.
Well, this,
We'll get 'em next time.
I may rethink the finicky grenades. So far, rolls have been 1 and 2 so far, which are not very fortunate, are they? Oh boy. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna probably have to get her gun out again, because so far the luck has not been with me. All right, Granny, you tried, but I'll admit that was a pretty shameful performance. All right, going on to Norman the fish boy. He is going to start the game off, I think, by throwing his fishy cap, getting 2 free damage right there on the boss. And then I think we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have a movement of 6? Yes, you do, because of the breezy cape. 6. I'll move right there. I'm going to try and get him over near the jalopy, I think. And maybe we can use Yancey to try and get some tricks to get our friend the milk frog down here. Now, the milk frog, at the start of his turn, he's going to deal 1 damage to all townsfolk within 5 squares. Oh, that's going to be nearly everyone, isn't it? Oh, that's really... Yikes, this is going to have to be a battle where we take him out quickly, I think. Okay. Okay. Yancy Plover. I suppose we'll start by doing this. He only has a movement of 3, which isn't very far. 1, 2, 3. Actually, let's go right here. That way I'm not in the range 5, but I am where I want him to be. And then I'll use this ability here to activate the Frantic Fighter, so that he will try to come down here at my friend here, lining him up with the jalopy so that maybe we can get him hit by it at a future time. Okay. And last but not least, we have our friend Quintus Binch, who is seeing red after having taken his damage. He got hit by a grenade first, and then, of course, he got hit by the actual Ruffian attack, which is no good. So, alright, Quintus, let's start off with some attacks here. We have a sharpened feather. Ooh, that was close. Alright, we got a 9 there. That's going to hit. I thought that was about to roll to the 1, and I was going to maybe have to censor myself there. And we have a 2 for the rubber bat, so the rubber bat is going to be Unfortunately, a miss. Okay, but we still have our movement, and we could even use the trickster trait if we want to swap positions with a Townsfolk, but I don't think we will. I think what we'll do is 1, 2. Then I will interact with the terrain for 1 moxie here, which we do have. Okay, a 4. Alright, so 4 plus is a success. I can either break down the wooden fence or I can hop over it. I think we'll break it down, I suppose. We don't actually need it around. There we go. Alright, so that's 1 piece of terrain interacted with. 3, 4, 5. I think he has 7 movement, actually. 6. And what does it cost to interact with the well? Pay 2 coins and make a wish. Okay, I think I will do that. So I'll delete this 5 and I'll get 3 back. 1 and 2 and 3. Alright, let's make a wish and roll. Ah, an 8. That sounds good. 8 plus. You wished you were more prepared, and it worked. Receive the first card from the Peddler deck worth 10 coins or less. You may equip it immediately, and Wishing Well may no longer be activated. Okay, we finally got our engineering trait to work out. My goodness. It sure took a while, didn't it? Okay, let's go ahead and get 1. That is not 10 or less, unfortunately. Here's 10 or less. We have some flinging stones, looks like. It's a ranged, one-handed thrown weapon. A range 3. 1 moxie, hits on a 6 plus, deals 1 damage. The problem is it's actually sort of somewhat worse than this. So I think I'm not going to equip it right now. I'm just going to keep it in my back pocket. Okay. Everyone has gone in the beaten order. So now, unfortunately, it's Pepin Milkfrog's turn. Forced Guzzle. Pepin gives you a free sample. Target the Townsfolk with the lowest movement, which is actually going to be overridden by our friend here. Oh, and by the way, at the start of his turn, all the Townsfolk within 5 squares suffer a damage. So that's going to be Norman the Fish Boy and Granny the Melba. So they're going to go bam and bam. There we go. Okay. Move toward the target. If Pepin reaches the target, trigger the after effect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, what's the after effect? Pepin grabs the target by the throat, forcing a bottle of milk down their gullet. They look like they're having a hard time keeping it down. Keep this card in front of the target and place 2 counters on it. At the start of your turn, remove a counter from this card. When the last counter is removed, you unleash a wave of vomit. You take 1 damage, and all characters within 5 squares of you take 2 damage. Then discard this card. Ah, that's amazing that the characters in range of you end up taking more damage than you do. Seeing as you're the one who drank it. I guess maybe they're just so disgusted by the sight. Oh, yikes. That's a terrible card. We may have to utilize the Smithy's Apron or the wooden plank to parry that attack, even though that seems a bit silly. Okay, it's our turns again, starting with the Melb. So let's go to range 3 here. Do I want to throw the grenade? It's on a 3 plus. I don't think I want to throw the grenade. I think I'm going to spend my 2 moxie to swap to the Rudy Tutor so that I am ready for a future turn. And since I still have more movement, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do not want to start my turn in range 5 of this fool. No, I do not. Okay, Granny Melba has gone. I believe that means it is Norman Fishboy's turn. Yes, indeed. Norman. I don't want to activate the jalopy yet because, unfortunately, our friend is in the way of it. So I think Norman's going to go 1, 2, 3. And then he's going to hit our friend, and then he has 6 movement, so he'll just move 3 back to get him out of that range 5, I suppose. Or maybe actually I'll have him move down. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm actually going to move him across the moat, interestingly. Alright, let's hit him with the Hive on a Stick. We have a 4, and I have a 1 to accuracy because of our sore eyes. Normally that would hit, but unfortunately that did not hit this time around, which is unfortunate. Ah, darn those sore eyes. All right, and then I'll move 1, 2, 3. So we're now down here. I'm going to go see what help we can get from the Rickety Farm, I think, with Norman next. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's out of that range 5. Perfect. All right, then we have Yancy Plover. I think Yancy's going to go 1, 2. Whoops, there we go. We're going to start right there. And I think we're going to activate this trait. And I think we are going to roll for an attack with Old Smacky. Yes, we got him. Alright, we got him with Old Smacky. There we go. I'm hoping to get some crits here, because not only on a critical hit does it deal +1 damage with the weapon, but you may recall the Breezy Cape actually heals Norman Fishboy on critical hits, which is pretty cool. Alright, and you know what? I guess I'll go right there. So I'm not exactly adjacent. Alright, Norman. Quintus Binch, can you start this jalopy, my friend? So you have moved 2, and then let us interact with the old jalopy for 1 moxie. Roll. We got to get a 6+. That did not work. The car won't start. Nothing happens. Let's try again. We have 2 more moxie to work with here. That's a 2. It still didn't start. Okay, come on. There we go. That's it. And unfortunately, even though this is a 10 here, this is not technically a critical hit because we're not resolving an attack. So it's not going to trigger the Breezy Cape healing, unfortunately. Alright, move the old jalopy forward until it collides with a terrain piece or board edge. All characters in its path take 3 damage. Then remove old jalopy from the board. Oh, bonk! There we go. Got some roadkill over here. Very good. Let's go ahead and search. We'll put that right in there. Bam! There we go. And let's make sure to give him his 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. Which is going to trigger a card play. Milk Toss. Pepin launches a fetid bottle of milk high into the air. Okay, he would normally target the farthest townsfolk, but he's actually going to target Yancy because Yancy did activate the Frantic Fighter. If target is within 9 range, they take 1 damage. Turn Pepin around and move him forward. Oh dear. This isn't good. After effect, the glass bottle shatters. All townsfolk within 3 squares of the target take a damage. I mean, I guess there really isn't anyone else other than me. I think I'll take this one. I think there are worse cards that are coming our way from Pepin Milkfrog. Okay, there we go. Alright, and now it's actually Pepin Milkfrog's turn, so he's going to play a card. Final Meal. Won't buy his milk, he'll eat you whole. Target the weakest townsfolk, which is the townsfolk with the lowest health in range. And that's actually going to be our friend, Yancy Plover, who's already been force-fed. Oh my goodness. Move toward the target. If Pepin reaches them, trigger the after effect. Pepin chomps down on the target, attempting to swallow them whole. The target may discard an equipped piece of gear to avoid the attack. If not, the target takes 3 damage. But you know what? I can parry that. Actually, I'm gonna Smithy's apron that. There we go. So yeah, he might have chomped down, but he just chomped down on the excellent hided leather of our Smithy's. Of our Smithy's apron. And I think that's right. The start of your turn. So I should have removed 1 counter from this. And at the start of my next turn, I'm gonna be throwing up. It appears, which is unfortunate. All right. Nope. Sorry, friend. You did not make a meal out of me. I'm a freaking metal anvil. You think you really could chew on this? No, sir. No, sir. All right. Moving right along. Granny Melba. She's got the Rudy Tutor out, so now we can 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know what though? He should have taken 1 damage from starting his turn within range 5 of our friend here, unfortunately. Okay, so ouch. Alright. Alright. That's not good. That means Yancey's, he's on his last leg here, unfortunately. Alright, we got range 5 with Granny Melba. We're going to have to make quick work of this fool, friends. That's a 9. That's going to do it. Perfect. So we're going to do 2 more damage there. We're going to unload the Rudy Tutor. And let us go ahead and move right on back. Up there. So we can keep at a safe range, so to speak. Now we have Norman Fishboy. The Fishboy is ready to attack. 1, 2, 3. And he's going to attack, and then guess what he's going to do? He's going to run right back out of range. A 5. And because we have 1 accuracy, that 6+ is a 5+, meaning we do get the hit. So we're going to deal him 2 more damage. Unfortunately, that's going to trigger another card play, but that's unfortunately what you have to do to get him dead. Milk Frenzy. Pepin grabs a slimy milk jug from his crate and chugs. Target none. Pepin is invigorated by his milk. He gains +1 movement. Uh-oh. Okay. Reshuffle the action deck and play the next card in the action deck. Oh, no. That's not good. Alright, what else does he have? Desperate Croak. Pepin lets out a sad, panicked croak. Target random. Move toward that target. If Pepin reaches them, trigger the after effect. Okay, so the way to randomize in this game is generally to roll. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 and 2. Basically, I do the values in ascending order, 2 apiece in left to right. So 1, 2, it's Granny Melba. 3, 4, it's our friend down here. 5, 6, it's Norman Fishboy. And 7, 8, it's our friend Quintus. And if it's a 9 or a 10, I just re-roll generally. Alright, we got 6. That's going to be Norman Fishboy. Okay, move toward the target. 1, 2. There we go. He's moved toward him. Alright, and then trigger the after effect. Pepin ends his sad squeal with a hearty chomp. Take 2 damage. Ugh. Youch. Oh my goodness. He is tearing us apart, guys. He's tearing us apart. Wow. Wow. Okay, we know we're not going to get that. We might be able to run far enough away to trigger this, maybe. Have your townsfolk removed from the board without being knocked out. Ugh. She hasn't triggered that. Didn't trigger that. Might be able to trigger that. He actually has accomplished this trait, so let's get him his 2 coins, I suppose. So I'm going to get that, and I'll delete 3 of these, huh? Let's bring him to 6. There we go. Okay, 1 fellow army. Haven't done that. Damage Ruffian when you're staying on a train piece. Haven't done that. Caught in the back. Technically, the target was farthest townsfolk, but he overrode it with the frantic fighter, so I don't think it counts. If another townsfolk consumes a consumable, achieve this feat. I might be doing that soon. And the town fights with 1 or higher accuracy. Have not done that. Oh, man. Okay. Ouch. Sorry, Norman. Sorry, buddy. And then let's go ahead and just move you 1, 2, 3 away from him. I mean, I know it's not going to get you out of that range 5, so you're going to still potentially... you still are going to take that damage. Oh, man. Well, unless... actually, what I could do... I have a sneaky idea. I could use that trickster trait to teleport these 2 and swap them. And then I can... Bam, bam, bam. And then I can run. So that'll put him way over here. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to leave you right there, buddy. That's what I'm going to do. Trust, you just got to trust me, okay? Alright. And unfortunately, the Forced Guzzle is about to take my final point of damage. So I'm going to utilize that wooden shield to parry the Forced Guzzle throw-up damage. And there's no townsfolk within 3 to suffer any additional damage to that. So... we're okay. We're hanging on by a thread, but we're okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh man. If I move up and attack him, that's basically the death knell for my character because he only has 1 health left, meaning that he's gonna die just from getting the troublemaker damage. So maybe what I might want to do is bide my time, move 3 away, and then trigger this to bring him to me, and then I can clunk him later. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. And I'll bring him this way. Unfortunately, no. Maybe I don't want to do that. Because that's basically guaranteeing my death. That's exactly what that's doing. Oh, there's an idea. So actually, I'm going to spend 2 Moxie to disequip that, re-equip the cloak. Then spend 2 Moxie to move 2 away from the Ruffian and heal 1 health. And we have -1 max HP, meaning on top of the -1 max HP we already have, our max HP is only 2. But we might be able to survive a little bit longer if we utilize the Coward's Cloak. Okay. Okay. Good to know. All right, and then, excuse me, goodness. And then we have our friend Quintus Binch. He is going to teleport. Boom, there we go. He's using that Loki-style trickster trait. And I think I was right there because I activated the jalopy, didn't I? Yep. All right, so there we are. Now it is time to smack our friend, I think. Here we go. Starting with the sharpened feather, we have an 8. That is going to deal a damage. Then we have... Come on, bat. That's a 4. A 4 is not going to hit it because we need to roll a 5+. And I don't want to start my turn adjacent to this fool. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to consume my stolen candy, which is going to trigger this for our friend over here, getting him 2 more coins. Let's get 1 and 2. There we go. And that stolen candy, as you may recall, allows me to place myself in any open square in the landscape. I'm going to go right down here to see if I can knock on the door of the Rickety Farm. Actually, I have enough moxie to do it right now. No, I don't. I used the trickster trait and attacked with the bat. Never mind. Haha. But I will do so later. All right. Pepin, Milk, Frog. Let's see. I guess no one's taking damage from that troublemaker from the milk crate barrage, so he's just going to play a card. Milk Toss. Pepin launches a fetid bottle of milk high into the air. Target the farthest townsfolk, which it will this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's 9 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She is 10 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ah, darn. Even though I got away, that's what it was. Oh, but if the target's within 9 range, they take a damage. Turn Pepin around and move him forward. So you know what? I was actually out of range. Excellent. And then Pepin is going to turn around and move forward. Okay. So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he has 8 movement now because of the fact that he drank his own nasty milk. Wow. Okay. So actually we lucked out on that. We were okay. We were out of range for his pop fly milk toss. Okay. Okay. We might have a chance still because he only has 5 health left. But we are also bleeding pretty hard, all of us. Okay, starting off with Granny Melba. She is way out of range to be able to do much of anything. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But her gun's unloaded anyway. So I guess it's not that bad. And then we'll reload the gun for the next turn. Okay, Norman Fish Boy. A little close for comfort there, aren't you? But I think we'll attack and then we are going to run. So let's see if we can... Actually, you know what we'll do first? We're going to move. 1, 2. Right here, it puts us at range 3. Just in case, whatever, if he hits and it triggers a trap that hurts adjacent foes or friends, I don't want Norman to be caught up in that. Alright, we got a 5, which with our accuracy trait of 1 means it is going to hit, dealing 2 damage to our Milk Frog Fiend here. Alright, Shockwave leaps. Pepin furiously leaps up and down, sending shockwaves across the landscape. Target none. All townsfolk are pushed 1 square farther from Pepin. Uh-oh. Any townsfolk that moves into or adjacent to a terrain's piece slams into it, taking 1 damage. 1 square farther from Pepin. So that's going to push him into the barn, which actually is going to, I think, kill him. No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay, whew. No, I don't like this. Alright, so it's going to push him 1 space farther from Pepin. Push her 1 space farther from Pepin. And for him, it's going to push him 1 space. Okay, so actually, we're okay. Oh, wait, it's honor adjacent to. Okay, no, even that doesn't make it happen. Okay. Move toward the farthest townsfolk. I think the farthest townsfolk is now Yancey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And for the remainder of his movement, I think I'm just going to move 3 spaces this away so that I'm not in range 5. It's too bad that her turn isn't coming up, or else she would be able to have shot him with the Rudy Tutor, but it is what it is. Okay, moving along to Yancey the Plover. I don't know that Yancey wants to do a whole lot, except maybe... I can't really utilize the Coward's Cloak, can he? Nope, sure can't. I mean, he could for the movement, I suppose, but there's not a whole lot of point in that. I guess I'll do this, and you know what I'll do? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go and hide behind the beehive, and I've used this so that he'll want to be coming toward me. And I'm going to hope I can lure him adjacent to the beehive and get his little froggy butt stunned, and stung, I suppose, is correct there. Alright, so I have done what I wanted to do there. Now, Quintus Binch. Let's start by knocking on the door to the Rickety Farm for 1 moxie. That's a 9. The owner is happy to oblige. He lines his shotgun through the window and nails the ruffian for 3 damage. Rickety Farm can no longer be activated. 1, 2, 3.
Take that, you mutated son of a...
Kaboom! Yes! Yes! Oh my goodness. Thank you, Farmer... I gotta give him a name. Farmer Dan, thank you for lending us your shotgun skills from your window. What? And by the way, excellent shot from there, hitting that Pepin Milk Frog. Kaboom! Kabam! That's it, Pepin Milk Frog. You're out of here, buddy. Wow! Wow, okay. Oh darn, it's too bad that says with weapons, or else I would have nailed it. Darn, it's too bad. Okay. Alright, very good. So, Pepin Milk Frog has been defeated.
He croaked.
Yes, he has. And let's take a look here. She did not do that. She actually didn't interact with any terrain. Have your towns... Nope, didn't happen. This may have happened. Maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah, no, it didn't. It was so close, but no cigar. Ah, that's too bad. Okay. Alright, so now it looks like these 2 characters both completed 1 feat. So they're going to roll off for the boss gear. But let's go ahead and make sure that we do this in order. Are there any of these we want to get rid of? I think One Fellow Army is not going to fit with his current build, and I don't know that we're going to get a weapon that will make it happen. Ambusher. No, let's not touch that either. We've been trying for that one, but it's been really hard. Eagle-eyed, I don't think it's gonna happen. We achieved that. So, you know what, let's keep Caught in the Back. It's been working for us. Okay, Tinkerer, interact with a terrain piece. That doesn't sound too hard. Obtain a head, chest, or leg gear. Take 2+ damage in a single turn without being knocked out. She tries not to get hit at all, so really, we really probably should get rid of that. Magician, have your townsfolk move for the board without being knocked out. It's purely luck. Complete a fight with a starting weapon equipped the entire time. We really don't want to. End your turn 10+ squares away from the ruffian. In the final battle, I don't think we're going to go for that. Because, yes, next is going to be the final battle of the campaign. So I don't really believe that we're going to want to do a whole lot of... Well, frankly, we don't want to do a whole lot of completing these if they don't help us accomplish the actual goal of the battle of winning. So... It's almost kind of a silly endeavor. Oh, and you know what? Actually, I think someone's about to be named sheriff anyway on the next episode. So it may not really matter what town events or town feats we get. But I guess it kind of does, because they can offer you those other bonuses like +2 movement or 1 damage to the ruffian or whatever, you know, whatever the case is. But in any case, so good. We have gotten rid of those excesses. Then everyone is going to get 6 coins here. Let's clone. Oh, sorry. Let's actually copy that. If you clone it, it won't copy everything you've highlighted. There we go. There we go. There we go. And there we go. All right. And now we get, let's see. Yep. These are the milkman's gear. The milk-soaked limb. It's a melee 2-handed sword. Costs 2 moxie to activate. Hits on a 4+, does 2 damage. Range of 3. Interesting. On a critical hit with this weapon, the ruffian loses a movement. Wow. Okay, so we got a roll off between Quintus and Yancey. Alright, roll. It's a 6 and a 6, which is a tie. Roll. 6 and a 7. So Quintus ends up with the milk-soaked limb, which is 2-handed sword. Wow. Well, in order to equip that, I'd have to get rid of both of these. Well, to be fair, my Rubber bat hasn't been that great lately. Maybe I might consider it. I might consider giving this a try. Okay, so we have defeated the Ruffian, so let's go ahead and clear the boss stuff. Oh, and let me get my token back. Apparently that went flying that way. I'm actually amazed that we didn't lose anybody. I was nearly positive we would lose somebody, but thankfully, with the help of the coward's cloak and with the help of a few other little interesting moves, like utilizing the stolen candy, utilizing the trickster trait that I tend to forget about, we were able to keep all of our friends alive. Wow, that was a tough one. Final thoughts for Pepin Milkfrog. I have fought him before as a chump, and I have fought him before as the final boss. So this is the first time I fought him as a, what do they call it? Troublemaker. And that's a tough trait. That basically turns the battle, like if we had a very melee heavy set of friends, that basically turns the battle into a race for damage. Good call on the developers for giving you the Rickety Farm and the old jalopy, and in fact the bear trap and beehive to utilize. So a lot of terrain-based damage opportunities that you have here. But overall, I think he's an interesting boss. I'm not sure what the inspiration for him was. It's kind of a strange name. There may, in fact, be a literal thing called a milk frog, for all I know, like an actual animal. I just haven't ever seen it. But I like the idea of this kind of shady salesman who has this toxic product. In fact, you may have, I don't know how many of you may have actually seen it, but I put out, I think, 4 different little articles on the Board Game Geek website for Townsfolk Tussle with character pitches for different bosses and actually for a campaign story. If you're interested, I'll go ahead and leave the link in the description below. But there was one character I had with a similar sort of base idea of having sort of a toxic, edible nature to it, and her name was Candy Cane, C-A-I-N-E, and she basically creates this like sickening sweets out of things. So the terrain in that battle is actually able to be turned into candy versions of it, and she uses attacks and tactics that try to get your characters to eat candy and enter a sugar rush state, which can hurt you. So definitely like the idea of it. I actually don't like milk in real life. So I already have like an aversion and a repulsed disgust for it. So this hits a little home for me as well. It makes me gag, unfortunately. I mean, if it's in something, like in cereal or whatever, like I won't drink the milk generally because it makes me gag, but I can eat the cereal that has absorbed some of the milk. Not sure why. I don't know that I'm like lactose intolerant. It just makes me gag. And funny enough, actually, when I was a kid, we used to go over to a neighbor's house where the mom made a policy to like force all of us to drink milk. And I used to try and tell her like, oh, I was so young, I didn't really know how to explain that like I threw up when I drank milk. So like my friends understood though. So I would try and like, when she wasn't looking, I'd kind of give it to them so they could drink it for me or whatever. And finally she caught on and she sat me down and she's like, no, you're going to drink this milk and you're going to do it now. And I was like, well, but if I do, I'll gag, I'll throw up. I really don't like it. The only way at that age I could think to express it was like, I really, really don't like it. And she's like, being a good mom, like, I don't care. You're going to drink it because it's good for you and this and that. She did not believe me. And so after I resigned, I drank some and then instantly retched it on her and covered her in milk. And she's like, oh, I get it. Like, you have a gag reflex to milk. You're like milk intolerant. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that I forced you to drink this stuff. She just thought I was being just a bratty kid, But good times, good memories there. Sorry, I went a little off track, but funny story about the milk, and that's why I have my negative thoughts about it. But next time we are going in, we are going to gear up. We're going to get a new sheriff in place. The sheriff, from what I remember, is going to get some sort of special gear that's going to be useful for the final battle against the Ruffian, the final Ruffian, whoever it is. I guess we already know who it is because there's only one other one in here, Samuel Strawman, who I have also faced as various spots, but I actually have not faced him in the final showdown. I really love his character design. I think he has an interesting battle and interesting mechanics, so I'm really excited to get that shown. But we will have to look forward to that in the final episode of our Townsfolk Tussle playthrough. Thank y'all so much, and we will look forward to seeing you again.